morning, everyone. Don't be too disappointed. Rochelle is sick, unfortunately, today, so it'll just be me. But we are going to True Grit Spin Studio, so let's go check it out. So we can just start with your name, and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Kirsten Aitchison. I am the owner of True Grit Spin Studio in Grande Prairie, Alberta. So,
Awesome. What was the inspiration behind opening True Grit?
so I actually wasn't into fitness at all. I went to school to be a motorcycle and power equipment mechanic. And I studied on the bikes and I actually didn't like spin class. I did one and it was in a lit gym room. People were lifting weights and it was just like awkward. So I didn't like it and swore I'd never do another one. And then I ended up taking one because a studio was opening where I got a job in a motorcycle shop. So I ended up going to their opening day and fell in love with it because it was in a dark room and it was a vibe and it wasn't, everybody was around you but not watching you, and it was a great community. So, yeah.
Wow. So originally going to school for motorcycle and like bike mechanic,
Yeah.
what was the transition like between, I guess, now knowing all the background that goes into the bikes, but also like running a business and kind of coming at it from a different aspect?
So the motorcycle mechanic, like I kind of I got laid off, and then that's what got me into the spin training. So I got asked to be a spin instructor and took it on full tilt. So I was laid off. So I was doing multiple classes a day, building up my endurance and training. One good thing is, I can work on the bike. So if a bike is down, I can fix it, which has been really great. I've been in the industry for quite a few years now, managed at 2 different studios, taught at 5 different studios, sorry. And it was time to build my own business instead of building other people's. So.
And the name True Grit, where does that come from?
It takes true grit to open a business, to walk through the door and take a spin class. So it goes both ways for me and for my clients.
What was it like first opening the business? Did you have like a lot of business experience, or was it kind of head first diving in?
I spent a few years like working on it beforehand, like taking webinars, doing things like that to educate myself, to make sure that I was like taking all the right steps. I don't jump into anything full tilt. I like to, and I know what I want. So it took me a year to get the bikes that I wanted, and things like that. So I was very, I don't know the word, but like knowing what you wanted. Like I just knew what I wanted from this business, from what I learned from the other businesses. So taking away the things I liked and getting rid of the things I didn't like. So
what advice would you have for aspiring business owners?
Do your research and know that it's going to be a grind for the first bit, for sure.
How have you kind of handled a lot of times when we talk to business owners, they consider their business like their baby, right? Because it's not something you can leave when you go home at the end of the day. Yeah. So how are you finding that balance of work life?
I haven't quite found it yet, I'll say. I'm getting better, but like being open for 6 months it's the start, it's the grind, it's where you put your most effort in and you're working out all your kinks. So you're obviously going to work a little more. And me and my partner had talked about that. I was like, the next year is going to be a grind. And he understood that. And so I think we're both just on the same page, and I do as much as I can. I make it to the kids' soccer games. I come here and clean at night. Like I just make it work. You just make it work.
Which is what
work-life balance will come later.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
You've got to do that, I guess, when it's your passion, right?
You can't. Yeah, like you don't feel like you work if you get to do your passion, right?
Exactly.
So
for the classes here, spinning classes, can you speak a bit about the classes you offer and what they entail?
Yeah, for sure. So we do a grit ride. So it is a 45-minute class. It's 40 minutes of spin and then 5 minutes of stretch after. At the start of class, we kind of go over everything. So where your tension should be at, how you should be riding, just a little blurb, and then get into it. So then the other class we offer is the beginner's ride. So it's a 50-minute class, but you're not riding for 50 minutes. You're riding for 30 of those minutes. So the class will start at 9, but you might not start riding until, further in. So you're going over like bike setup and helping everybody set up their bikes, clip in, doing all that kind of thing, talking over the moves, the tension, just going more in depth that you can't do in a normal class. So then they spin for 30 minutes and we stretch for 5 and away we go. We also offer bar here, so a bar Pilates fusion. So that's some strength training mixed with dance, body alignment, high reps. So yeah, a whole body workout.
How did you decide on the classes that you wanted to offer? Like, did you build the base of them or?
Yeah, so I lined up like the track profiles. I was trained by Tashi with Authentic Spin Instructor Training. So I took some of her stuff. I also took spinning training. So I added that to it. So I kind of mixed things together to make the track profiles and line them up the way that I wanted to. So,
why do you think spin and bar are beneficial workouts?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. So cardiovascular health, one of my favorite things, I think, and one of my favorite moments is, when you forget your keys and you got to run up the stairs in your house to grab them again, and then you're kind of winded and your heart's racing, that goes away. So the moment that went away for me, I was like, oh, look at that. I can do a flight of stairs, no problem. So I do it for that. I do it because I like to feel strong. I like to be able to do things with my kids, things like that. So beneficial in that aspect. Cardiovascular health. A lot of people that I've worked with in the past, like, they'll transfer it to running and they're like, oh, I've never been a runner, but their cardio is already so good. So it's more just like their legs getting used to running and whatnot. So it transfers that way. So cardiovascular health, muscle building, and it's fun in there. Mental health for sure. I don't know how many people afterwards will talk to me after and cry and tell me their life story and things like that. So yeah, I think it's important for mental health and physical. So.
Wow. I also think too, you had mentioned before of having a dark space where like you're working with other people, but no one's actually watching you.
Yeah.
And I guess that goes along with that mental health aspect of like, there's none of that pressure that maybe comes with a gym of like, everyone can see everything you're doing.
Yeah. So like, there's an aspect of being in the room. You're in competition, but you're not. You're in competition with yourself, but you have all your cheerleaders there doing the same thing. So like the community here is amazing. So nobody's focused on you, you're focused on yourself, but you also have their presence. So it feels like a team. So.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. You kind of touched on it already, but can you speak a bit more about the atmosphere and the vibes that are here at True Grit?
Yeah, so when I built this business, it was I wanted it to be community, connection. Like, that's what people need. They can go anywhere and ride a bike, but to create that community is so important. So that was one of my main focuses when I came here. A lot of the like groups on Facebook and things like that were all saying like, oh, like I can't make friends here. And like, I know a lot of people come and go in Grande Prairie. So I think a lot of people are missing that connection aspect. So that was one of my forefronts. And who doesn't love community that's kicking and doing the same thing?
I completely agree. I think that having a community, especially in, I would say, in a physical activity way, because it's hard enough, I think, for individuals to be like motivated and inspired to go and work out and do something. Yeah. And so when you can make workouts fun and like more of a friend hangout type thing, who wouldn't want to go?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally. And then I've also been asked, so we don't have, on our bikes, we don't have the monitors because I want people to show up even on their worst days and feel like they crushed it. But a number would tell you otherwise, but maybe you feel that day that you crushed it and that number wouldn't tell you that. So I want people to walk out of there feeling like a rock star instead of like deflated, oh, I didn't hit my number or something like that. And I also find that me personally, when I've been in classes and they have that, I'll be killing it. And I'm like, yeah. And then all of a sudden somebody looks at mine and then I'm out of the zone. And I'm like, well, what are you at? And then I'm looking at theirs. And then it becomes a competition with your neighbor rather than that community and that connection. So.
In regards to the monitor and the number that you're referring to, is that like the speed or the intensity or what's the number?
Like they'll have like a little computer thing telling you like you're at 24 on your dial or how fast you're going or things like that. Like they monitor like what the bike is outputting. And then people become fixated on the number rather than like just showing up, feeling their body. And we always tell them in class, like, listen to your body first, ask second. So it's a good way for people to get in tune with themselves rather than a number on a screen and trying to do what other people are doing that maybe they're not at that point.
I think too, providing that safe space for people of listening to your body first, not necessarily the instructor, is really awesome because in a lot of other sports that's not always the case. Like it's like push yourself, be the best, and it's like,
and we do say those things, but like within my like we always like are like listen to your body first, ask second, but get it.
So still that motivation, but also the safety of you don't have to always push your body to like 1,000,000% to the point of breakage, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What, in your opinion, makes a great spin class?
Definitely music, always music, because it's got to be good music. Music is key. The instructor, knowing what they're doing, being on beat, bringing the energy. Sometimes the room is deflated, and you have to find a way to bring it up, and that's like a true instructor when you can feel that vibe, but bring them back up. Because like some of them are nurses coming off night shift and things like that, and like they're showing up for themselves, but they're exhausted. So, keeping the level of energy up is key. Maybe it's hopping off the bike. Maybe it's, giving them a pump up speech or something, but something to pump it up.
How do you think your teaching style has changed from when you first started teaching to now having your own studio?
Different in some ways, for sure. Well, when you first start, you're a deer in headlights, usually. You're more in your head. So I should be saying something right now. What should I be saying right now? I should be body cueing. What body cue am I going to say? Oh, we're doing pumps now. Like, I should have cued them for that. Like, you're really in your head and nervous. So I think realizing it doesn't matter what you say up there, just rolling with it, I guess. So gaining that confidence on the bike would be key. Like the other day, I told them, let's make noodle soup with our legs. I was like, add in that tension, so thick, so heavy. I was like, I want your legs to feel like noodles after this, making noodle soup. So like, stupid.
But you get the picture and it works.
And it works. So. And it's just like, you just have to roll with it. You're like, after you're like, wow, did I just say that? But like, nobody cares. And it makes it different every time. You don't know what's going to come out of your instructor's mouth. So,
Totally. You mentioned music good music as something key for a good spin class. How do you think the music affects the class?
I think it affects it. I think different instructors have different styles for sure. I'm more like deep, dark, dirty beats, I would say, in the grand aspect. Like we have one of our instructors that's like a little rap queen. Like she loves a rap. We have people that are more into pop and that type of thing. But those people will gravitate towards those people. I like to be an energetic drill sergeant, so I like something with like a good beat to get them going. So, yeah.
So each instructor creates their own playlists for their classes?
Yeah. I help them when they ask me, but for the most part, they're trained on how to tap out their music and they have their track profiles to go through the program that I've made for them. And yeah.
Cool. I guess kind of going along that idea of how's your teaching changed, would you say that your style of music has also changed over time?
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely was like older music, like older rave music when I first started, I would say. And now it's developed into like I'm kind of like Rez and like those Canadian artists like that are kind of got those like deeper beats. So
what do you think is the reason, I guess, for those changes?
I think just my taste and what I like to spin to. So like originally I was picking songs that I just liked in general. You know, you're picking something you're picking something you're familiar with, so you know where the drops are and things like that. But as it went on, I was like, oh, like this doesn't actually like resonate with the spin me. This is like fun singing in the car, but like this isn't what I want to spin to. So
if you could, I guess, have like your dream spin class, what would the playlist look like for it? Do you have like something you'd really like to do?
I've done so many different ones. We just did a pitbull ride that was pretty awesome, and we wore bald caps.
Oh, that's
and
so
ties.
fun.
Kayla and I taught it together, so that was a vibe. I like theme rides. I did a neon rave ride just the other day too, and I don't know. I don't think I'd have I love like my banger playlists, like the ones that are, you know, my tried and true, my favorite songs, I guess, would probably be, but I love a good theme ride. I just like being on the bike. So I don't know. Every day is good. Every day is my best one.
Do you ever take other people's classes, I guess, or do you only teach now?
Right now, I've been teaching more than I've been taking, for sure. Just opening the business and whatnot. And so I've been teaching more than I would like. And eventually I'll get to the point where I kind of slow down. But like you said earlier, it's your business is like your baby at the start. So it's hard to step away. So I find that hard. But I did go to Edmonton and I took a cycle class there at YAG, so that was awesome. And I try to take whenever I go. Like when I go home, I hit up Spinco and Pure and all those ones. And I think Studio One, they just changed their name to that. So I'm Penticton, so I'll go hit those up when I'm there. So yeah.
So may I ask what brought you to Grande Prairie?
My partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you like Grande Prairie?
I do and I don't. So I do now. When I first moved here, I had left all my family, all my friends. So my community and my fitness community. So that was definitely hard moving up here. And it's flat.
Yeah.
It's real flat. So I was born in the mountains, from the mountains. So it definitely was a shock. It was, I wouldn't say that I hated it. It was just a weird feeling being open, if that makes sense. I was so used to being hugged in by the mountains, so to just be open and see so far was just kind of weird for my brain to adjust to, I guess. It wasn't that I hated it, but I was just like, this is weird. And then now that I have this studio and everything, I'm feeling really settled into Grande Prairie, and I love Grande Prairie and I love the community. So just, I guess that change is hard, but it would have been hard if I went to Hawaii, because I'm still being away from my family, my friends, and my community. So it wouldn't have mattered where it was. So yeah.
I totally see that. I've lived in Edmonton almost my whole life, and then I moved to Vancouver. So I kind of had the opposite experience of like, I'd never been surrounded by anything. And then I moved to Vancouver and I would just constantly stare at the mountains, and all my friends from BC are like, what are you doing? Like, you're just mountains. And I'm like, you don't understand. I never see these. Like, have you been to Alberta? There's like, it's flat. So
it does throw you for a loop. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's different and your brain is like, what?
Yeah. But then after a while, you know, you get used to it and you find aspects of the community, whatever community it may be, that really resonate with you and that you really love.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite spot here in Grande Prairie to go to?
Like food-wise or hiking-wise? What wise?
I don't know. Like any-wise,
it was very big. I'm like,
it was very big. And honestly, like food-wise or hiking-wise, like any spot that you're like, I love to do this thing?
True Grit.
That was good.
I also love Rooted Heart. It's our sister studio down the road. So we have a co-pass with them, and I love going to the restorative yoga there. So that's awesome. Jeffrey's Cafe in town is amazing because I have a lot of food allergies. So I can't have gluten, dairy, or soy. So they accommodate that, which is pretty awesome. And I forget the fall's exact name, but I like going to the waterfall. I think it's like Red Willow Falls. And it's just outside of Grande Prairie. I think that's what it's called, but that's where I like going. And out at Lost Lake for hiking with my dogs.
So hiking and spin, are there other things, I guess, that keep you really active?
Well, dirt biking, but I haven't done much of that lately because I'm afraid to hurt myself because I have to spin. But yeah.
One day
we'll get back to the dirt biking. I also have a run club. I guess that's a thing too. I have a run club on Sundays. So.
Oh wow.
That I started. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you went from not being like, at the beginning you had mentioned you weren't like a super active person.
No, I actually had really bad endometriosis and had 3 surgeries for it.
Wow.
And so it was definitely tough and not wanting to do things, but your body wouldn't allow you to. Mm-hmm. So
I see.
Yeah. So thanks to my surgeon in Vancouver, I'm good now. So.
And now you do it all.
Now I do it all. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any sport that you'd really love to try that's maybe like super obscure, or like maybe it doesn't happen here in Grande Prairie?
Well, I was really good at high jump, so I'd like to do high jump again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm very not great at.
But like
athletics.
Once you're done high school, like that doesn't happen again. Where are you doing that?
True. Unless it's like the Olympics, you're right? I don't think anyone.
And I don't think I was that good, but
I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
It's hard to say, but I'm turning 40. I think it's past that. I think
you could surprise yourself. You just got to try it out.
True.
What would you say is the most challenging aspect of the work that you do?
Like in general, I think like the business, being a business owner is tough no matter which way you sway it when you start. So I think like making time, work-life balance is probably one of the hardest things. Taking care of my body, but also having to teach. So finding that balance of like who I'm sore today, but I got to push through kind of thing. So I think that'd be the hardest part. Yeah. So work-life balance. Protecting my body while still using it.
Do you have any like tips and tricks for sore muscles and when you really don't want to work out?
Yeah. So I take some supplements, stuff from Supplement World. So I'll take out glutamine, the beef protein, things like that. So they've been really helpful in that aspect. So, and stretching and drinking water and getting enough sleep, which I don't do. So I should.
Now you've said it, so now you can hold yourself to it.
Yeah, exactly. But I find that when I'm super stiff from something, even just moving your body, just going for a walk, moving your body still and not just letting yourself seize up kind of thing. So
totally.
Yeah.
And then what would you say is the most rewarding part of the work that you do?
The clients, for sure. Watching them come in, take their first class, feeling slightly defeated, not sure if they're coming back, but they come back, and then getting to the point where they're absolutely crushing it. So
I love to see the passion that you have for the clients. You're even, I mean, when I came in, you were like looking to make sure it was no one's birthday or anything like that, because you make it really special for everyone, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Which is very kind of you.
I want everybody to feel special.
Where do you hope to see True Grit in, say, like 5 years?
Oh, well, finished. Oh, God. I hope to see it finished. Like, there's still things to do here. We've only been open for 6 months, so like painting the doors that I'm looking at right now. Like finishing some things. There's some walls I want to knock out. I want the bar room to be bigger. Things like that. So finishing up the studio, I guess, and maybe looking into opening more. So,
why do you think it's important to have a space like this in Grande Prairie?
I think it's important for people's mental health, for the community, for everybody to come together That's why I built it. So, and I love spin. So I feel like true grit is what Grande Prairie was missing, and I brought it here, and that's the reason I'm here.
And the last question, it doesn't have to be specific to the studio or anything, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Okay, so I saw this question on the thing, and I was panicking about it.
Sorry, it's not supposed to be a panic. I just like asking.
I don't think anybody's actually given me advice because I'm kind of an internal person that way. So when something's bothering me or something's getting in my way of me conquering something, I actually like go within. So I'm an overthinker that way. I don't bring things to people until I've thought about them. So I guess I do it internally, and I've always had this, like, even opening this business, I got at least 20 no's before I got a yes. So you scream into a pillow, you cry, you get back up, and you figure it out. So I guess that's my advice to myself, I guess, in a way. So you pick yourself back up. You let yourself have a moment, and then you work it out. So.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks. Wrists and shoulders are stacked, knees and hips are stacked. You're going to extend that left leg out long, finding that lift and lower. Lift and lower. Rib cages in, pressing away from the floor, plugging those shoulders in for 4, reaching through the toe, 3, 2, last one, hold it up, flex the foot, heel comes up, stamp it to the ceiling. For 4, 3, 2, last one, bring it in, extending that right arm out long. Now the left, you're going to pull in, elbow to knee, pull in, extend, pull in, extend. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Exhale, let that go, take it back into child's pose.
So we can just start with your name, and you can tell me a bit about yourself.
Hi, my name's Amy. I'm born and raised in Grande Prairie, and I'm currently doing process engineering in town for a lot of oil and gas companies.
Cool. What got you into that?
I originally kind of just wanted to be anything but what my dad did, and it turned into wanting to be exactly what he was doing with his life there.
That's so funny. What brought you to True Grit?
Yeah, so I moved back after university and kind of was moving back and reconnecting with friendships and what I saw for fitness in my life. I'd done a lot of sports growing up, but hadn't really fallen into something by myself. And I saw a friend post that she was doing a friends and family ride, and I went to that and quickly fell in love with it. And then I was there opening day, and ever since then I've been here too many days a week, probably, doing lots of bar and lots of spin classes and just loving the community that I've been making.
Would you say it's the community that keeps you coming back?
I think for sure the community makes it just such a enjoyable way to get my fitness in and get my sweat in, and makes me love what I'm doing rather than just, oh, I have to go do this. I'm excited to come. I'm excited to have the conversations and talk, and I'm excited to do it because of the community that we've been able to grow.
Do you have a favorite class that you've been to?
I'm definitely a lover of all the bar classes. I think I came here originally for the spin. I wanted to enhance that cardio and that endurance, and I still really love that, but I love the bar side of it, and just embracing sort of that core and that yoga aspect into my life.
Where do you hope to see True Grit in like 5 years?
I would love to keep on coming and keep on growing sort of my abilities and my skills and growing the community. I think it's great that they're able to offer, not just spin and also offer bar and also make a run club in the community and do all of those great things. So I'd love to see them grow with those fitness aspects and be able to continue offering just such versatile times and instructors that allow everyone to kind of get what works best for them.
If you could take True Grit anywhere in the world, where would you want to take it?
I would have planted it right in my university town when I went. I think when I moved away from Grande Prairie and went to university, I really struggled with, not having sort of that outlet or that fitness. And I think had I had this community then, it would have been a really great aspect for me.
And then last question, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
I'd say for me, it's really just been kind of go with my gut when I'm making decisions, and I don't have to be so logical about all of them. I can just choose whatever makes sense for me in that moment and listen to my instinct.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we can just start with your name, and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, well, my name is Brooklyn Broaders. I was born and raised here in Grande Prairie. I'm 26. I currently work over at Northwestern Polytechnic. I work for the Student Association. Yeah, I think that covers me.
Awesome. What brought you to True Grit?
Actually, my sister brought me here. So her name's Kayla. She's one of the instructors here. And she was going to school at Northwestern Polytechnic, and she ended up doing an interview for Kirsten, or with Kirsten for one of her projects. And Kirsten ended up loving her and hiring her. And then she brought me to one of her friends and family classes. And I just fell in love with spinning, and I have been here ever since.
What keeps you coming back?
Definitely the community here. And I love Kirsten. She's such an amazing person. And I love how she runs a studio here. I feel so welcome. The girls and the clients that are all coming here are just so welcoming. They always bring a smile to my face. Even if I've had a bad day, I know I can come here and I'll just feel better. And it just like lifts my spirits all the time. And so I just keep coming back every day, it feels like.
Where do you hope to see True Grit in, let's say, 5 years?
Hopefully, still here, hopefully, but like bigger. I'd love to see more clientele, obviously, for Kirsten. But I mean, I love the clients that are currently here. The girls that keep coming are just fabulous. I hope that they all stay. Big wishes, but it'd be wonderful just to see them still here and see the studio and see Kirsten be able to expand. Yeah.
If you could take True Grit anywhere in the world, where would you want to take it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I was born and raised here, and I've been here forever, so I just like keeping here. I know that Kirsten's from back home in BC, so I'd love for her to be able to open up another studio there so she could kind of go back home between the two, but I want to keep her here forever.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we can just start with your name, and you can tell me a bit about yourself.
Okay, my name's Emma Greeting. I enjoy being outside, doing outdoor activities. I don't know, playing sports and stuff.
Perfect. What's your favorite sport?
Probably volleyball. I enjoy doing that, or bike riding. Yeah.
Just regular bike riding?
Just, yeah, outdoor bike riding, just normal trail.
What brought you to True Grit?
I don't know, I just wanted to try out something new, and they had the promo going when they first opened up that it was like, try out your first spin class for $5, and I'm like, oh yeah, $5? Hell yeah. So yeah, that's what brought me to it, and I've come back ever since.
What keeps you coming back?
The vibes, everybody's so nice, and it's a community. Everybody's always there for each other and pumping each other up and stuff.
Where do you hope to see True Grit in like 5 years?
Hopefully some more studios. If it could grow a little bit more and have some more places, that'd be so cool, and bring the community together more and have some more people coming in.
If you could take it anywhere in the world, where would you want to take it?
We'd go to Newfoundland, because if I'm moving home, it's coming with.
And then last question, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Just keep on pushing on through everything.
Perfect, thank you. Hey everyone, finished up at True Grit Studio and just wanted to do my little rundown. So weird doing this without Rochelle. So it was so much fun. The studio is so very nice, and the community that they have built there is fantastic. I obviously was just a spectator in all of it, but the passion and enthusiasm that Kirsten and everyone else had is really inspirational. Kind of made me be like, oh, maybe I should try spin. Maybe I should get active and get into like that realm of the world, because it's not really my thing. I'm not good at the whole coordination stuff, but anyway, really fun, really great. And yeah, if you are interested in spin or think you might be interested or just kind of want to try something new, I highly recommend it. I didn't do it myself, but everyone there seems to absolutely love it. And even if you're not into spin itself or like that sort of activity, you could always like go try it out and get to know the people, because a lot of the time people can make things way more fun. So check it out.